guys, I'm Marie MacMillan. I'm a nurse, a writer, and a podcast host, and I'm here today to tell you my 5 tips on how not to be the new grad nurse everyone hates. Now, let's be real. Being a new grad is tough. You gotta work to pass your classes, graduate, and then you get to the workplace and surprise, there's a mountain of learning in front of you. Spoiler alert, there's always learning in front of you. But it is especially tough in the beginning when you have to blend in with nurses that are already experienced and super proficient at what they do. Meanwhile, you don't even know where the break room is or where the IVs are stocked or how to page a doctor or clock in or what the call light sounds like, etc., etc., etc. It's like learning to swim. Being a new grad nurse can feel like trying to swim in a pool full of professional swimmers while you're barely keeping your head above water with your goggles and your water wings and you're just like, help! I know the feeling. I have been on both sides of this reality. I was a new grad nurse in 2009 and here I am 9 years later teaching new grad nurses to swim. And I like it. I really like it. I like training new grads. Not everyone does, but with that experience of being a new nurse and having trained new nurses now as an experienced nurse, I've come up with 5 tips to minimize the eye rolling and engender trust in your veteran colleagues who have really forgotten what it's like to be new, clueless, and downright terrified. So here are my 5 tips on how not to be the new grad nurse everyone hates. Tip number 1, leave your phone alone. Leave it alone. Caveat, I realize many of us have obligations like kids, parents, dependents, family, anything for the potential for emergency. I mean, working in healthcare reminds us constantly that the worst can happen on any day of the week. However, being in a new, high-stakes environment requires you to at least look like you are paying attention. You don't want to be the new guy that always has their face in their phone instead of their eyes on the telemetry monitor or on their patients who are crawling out of bed. But Marie, what about the internet? I thought you might ask. Most institutions have internet on the workstations at their desktops. And those workstations might have access to databases you're not going to get on your phone, like UpToDate or Medscape or other subscriptions. Check out your institutional library for the things that you might not know about. Again, I understand that life happens, so check your messages on your breaks, your email, and your voicemail, anything that's going to be necessary, but put away your social media, your dating apps, your NFL fantasy football teams. Put all that away while you are training. Give your work phone to your family members for emergencies and really divert your attention to the task of learning and becoming a reliable team member. Tip number 2, embrace your incompetence. In training, preceptors don't expect new grads to be or feel competent yet. So don't put yourself in a place mentally where you constantly worry about appearing unintelligent. We know you're new, it's a process. Breathe. Conversely, don't spend extra time telling your preceptors what you do know. Don't tout your knowledge excess. There is no such thing. Embrace your knowledge deficit. Don't think or say, well, I've done this skill already. That skill might be done differently from unit to unit, nurse to nurse, institution to institution. Say, I've done this skill before, but I don't really know how we do it here. Can you show me how? Instead say, I don't know what this medication is, what this diagnosis is, where the Foley catheters are stocked. Say aloud, I don't know, teach me. Questions aren't stupid. Silence is stupid. Take up the plethora of skills you have yet to conquer as an opportunity to show your colleagues that you recognize your learning curve. It will really help your coworkers remember what it was like to be new, and they'll be more likely to mentor you, to take the time to help you with that IV start, to show you how to document that head-to-toe assessment. Going back to my swimming analogy, don't be the new grad that just dives into the deep end without their water wings saying, I got this. You don't need a near drowning to prove yourself. You really don't. So again, embrace your incompetence. Embrace swimming with those water wings as motivation to master the skills one at a time. And ultimately, you're going to become a star team member. Tip number 3, use your nurse brain. Okay, I don't really mean the organ inside your skull. I mean, definitely use that. But by nurse brain, I mean that piece of scrap paper that everyone's carrying around that has all the important stuff on it. It could be a pre-printed thing. There are lots of notepads and booklets available now. It could be something on a smartphone app, but again, refer to tip number 1. Have the important stuff written down in a system that works for you. It will help you prioritize the 1,245 other things you're going to need to get done before you hand off to the next shift. Tip number 4, find a mentor. A mentor is an experienced peer that kicks ass in a way that you are in complete awe of. It's a colleague that has shown interest in you and your learning journey. It's a nurse that you work with that you want to absorb all the knowledge from. It's that preceptor who can seamlessly get from point A to point Z while doing 9 other things, like fielding phone calls and talking to worried family members and administering medications and managing patient pain while getting that Diet Coke over ice with a side of graham crackers while simultaneously teaching you about cardiac output. I'm sure you have somebody in mind. Find this person or people to emulate and start an intentional professional relationship with that person or people. And then say hi to them on YouTube and thank them for being amazing. Hi, Mary. Thanks so much. You're amazing. Tip number 5, connect with your cohort. When I say cohort, I mean other new nurses like yourself who are going through similar troubles. In your units, your hospital, former classmates, online. Find others going through similar stresses and make time to commiserate about it. The victories, the failures, all the feelings. It could be drinks after work, it could be text or email chain, it could be commenting on funny nurse-related Instagram feeds, or joining online forums such as those on allnurses.com. Find the people who are going through what you're going through and connect with them, and it will help you remember that you're not alone in your quest to becoming a new competent nurse. Hearing from others will help you not reinvent the wheel when it comes to the other 4 tips. Like, you might find someone out there who has a nurse brain that's really going to work for you, and you might want to give it a go. You might find someone who has a story about how they really found a mentor that they appreciate and really wanted to build a relationship with. You might find posts about how new grads go to work feeling completely stupid and how hard it is to go there every day and feel like that. Find the communal suffering and recognize what an important time in your career it is. We are all at different stages of growth, and we all have room to grow. I certainly don't know everything. I learn things all the time from my cohort, from my mentors, from the people I precept, from my patients, and especially from new graduate nurses. So, to review, my 5 tips on how not to be the new grad nurse everyone hates are: leave your phone alone, embrace your incompetence, use your nurse brain, find a mentor, and connect with your cohort. I feel the need to say, I'm using the word hate unrealistically. We don't hate you, we were you once. Keep in mind that older nurses are just used to working with proficiency, and training new nurses may lead to eye rolling and some unnecessary negative commentary. Knock that off, old nurses. Remember, it's our responsibility to onboard these new nurses, and it's our job and responsibility to help them get to a place where it feels like they can swim without a flotation device. I really enjoy working with new grads. So to all you guys out there with shiny new RN licenses, welcome to the tribe. Congratulations. I bet it feels good. Hold on to that. Keep working hard. Stay focused. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Stick to these 5 tips and you're going to look like a pro. I hope you've enjoyed this video on tips for new grads. Be sure to head to allnurses.com for more nursing advice, resources, and community. I'm Marie MacMillan. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, bye.